What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C4 here, and today we're going to be giving some grades out from the Philadelphia Eagles' victory over the Indianapolis Colts. I'm recording this with about 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter. It's currently 33-16 Philly, so that might not be the exact final score, but Philly is going 3-0 in the preseason. Our preseason Super Bowl champs hope is still alive. Last year, we ended up going 3-1. We lost to the Jets week 4. Hopefully, we can go 4-0 because why not? But I'm going to give you some grades today. I was impressed with this performance, man. One of the things I called in my 10 things to watch happened, and we'll get to that shortly. But when that happened, man, I was also watching the free UFC pay-per-view. I think it's Condit versus Damian Maia. And I was just more focused on the actual game, obviously. But I lost my shit when this happened. But we'll start at the quarterback and work our way down for the grades. So I gave the quarterback overall a B grade. As it stands right now, Chase Daniel played in a reserve role. He ended up getting 100 yards and a touchdown to some dude I've actually never heard of. He was number 9. He probably just a camp body at the best. But Bradford went 17 of 20, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. And I'm putting that 1 interception on Nelson Agholor. I was a little bit behind him, but, a wide receiver should be able to adjust and make that catch. It bounced off his hands, went up in the air, and the Colts picked it off. But his 2 touchdowns were very good touchdown passes. I was actually impressed with Sam Bradford this game, and hopefully he can continue this run of form. I don't expect him to play week 4. Hopefully we just run with Chase Daniel and Carson Wentz is healthy enough to play. But Bradford, I'm B. Man, this was an acceptable quarterback play from Sam Bradford. The running backs, I'm giving them a C+. Weren't necessarily, looking too hot. Weren't bad at all. That's why I think C+ is a fair grade. Ryan Matthews had 3 attempts for 31 yards. That's not bad. And Kenyon Barner had 6 attempts for 39 yards. So that's more of a product of the carries weren't there. Philadelphia was trying to air the ball out more, which is what we need to see. We're going to be able to run the ball, knowing what Doug Peterson installed in Kansas City. They're going to be a run-first offense. So we want to see in this dress rehearsal game how our passing offense looks. 17 of 20 for Bradford. Some of those passes were dink and dimes. There was a lot of checkdowns to Zach Ertz. But for the most part, man, he made the big throws that he needed to make, and I was impressed. But for the running back, C+. Wide receivers / tight ends, I gave the receiving core as a whole a B. Josh Huff, the guy that I shit on more than any Philadelphia Eagle, I think. I don't know if it's close with him and Agholor. 2 receptions for 60 yards, also added a rushing touchdown. Huff looked good, man. I'm not going to completely change my opinion on him after this game. He's had 1 good game out of fucking what? 3 years, 2-3 years that he's been in Philly. I want to see if he can continue to build on this. Maybe he just needs a good run of form, some momentum to finally start to produce like a 3rd-round wide receiver pick. But I can't knock him, man. He looked good today. Trey Burton, my boy from Florida, 5 receptions, 35 yards, and a touchdown. He looks good. He's a lock for the 3rd tight end spot. Zach Ertz, 5 receptions, 25 yards. Lots of checkdowns. But I told you about a time that I popped. For people that watch wrestling, I popped when Bradford threw that red zone touchdown to Dorial Green Beckham. That is what I want to see throughout this season. That's what we brought him in. That 1 touchdown in that 1 preseason game for Dorial Green Beckham was more value and offered more, I don't know what the proper word is, more just importance than anything Dennis Kelly did. So already, we're fucking ahead on this trade. Dorial Green Beckham finished with 2 receptions, 15 yards, and 1 touchdown. No drops from him. I think, 2 for 2. 2 looks, 2 catches. And that was a great, great red zone touchdown. Exactly what we need from him. Eagles, for as long as I've been a fan, have been awful in the red zone. And maybe this will change. Having him, Zach Ertz, Jordan Matthews, not Nelson Agholor, Ruben Randall, those are all 6'2", 6'3", 6'4", 6'5", 6'6" guys in the red zone. So hopefully we'll have a good red zone offense, but a B grade for the wide receivers and tight ends. O-line, I gave it a B+. The run blocking, it was not bad. Pass protection was good. Bradford got sacked on the 2nd play of the game. But outside of that, man, he had a pretty clean pocket. Steven Wisniewski got the start at guard, and he looked great. I would personally go Wisniewski over Isaac Seumalo, but it's really close. I wouldn't be upset if Wisniewski ends up losing the starting gig. But offensive line looked good, B+ for me. D-line, I'll give them an A. Barwin with the sack, Bo Allen with the sack, Benny Logan with the sack. If you checked out my Twitter, actually, I'm going to just give 1 second here. I'm going to make a note on my notes to talk about this. Announcers from game. Okay, we'll get back to that. Benny Logan with a sack. Defensive line did their job. No stat line really for Fletcher Cox, but he was a menace. He got pressure on Andrew Luck multiple times in this game. He's looking good. Our defense is going to be scary. I'm saying it's going to be an utter disappointment if we don't have a top 10 defense this season. But A for the D-line. Linebackers, I'm giving them an A as well. Hicks had a monster game. 3 tackles. One of those included a 4th down start that even the announcers couldn't believe how quick he got off his blocks and got in the backfield to make a play. He looked phenomenal. Nigel Bradham also added 5 tackles as well. He picked up a knock. I was kind of worried that he got hurt, but then he came back out later in the game. So we're all good there. A grade for our linebackers. Not A+, but an A. Defensive backs, I give him a C+. There's a couple blown coverages, couple big-time plays downfield for the Indianapolis Colts. C.J. Smith, I think he's a shot to make the team. Him and Paul Turner are my 2 sleepers to make up this final roster. He had 7 tackles. Malcolm Jenkins had 5 tackles. Nolan Carroll added another interception on top of his pick 6 last year. I really think Carroll, I've never said he was bad. I said Nolan Carroll is a solid NFL corner, not a franchise player, not even I would consider a playmaker. But for how athletic he is, if he could bounce back from that injury, he is an all right. Like, if we had a premier corner and then had Nolan Carroll as our second corner, I'd say we have great corners. But I think that corner 2 spot is going to be an area of concern. McKelvin, I don't think he's going to get the job done. Jalen Mills probably isn't ready to start. Ron Brooks has been a special teamer. I don't think he's the guy you want to start. But for the most part, Carroll's been holding up his end of the bargain. So a C+ here for the defensive backs. No grade for special teams. Sturgis went 2 for 2 on field goals, 1 for 1 extra point. Parkey didn't get a single field goal attempt unless something happens really late in the game. There's now 2 minutes left, and I don't think he's going to get it. They're getting ready to punt the ball away. And he did miss an extra point. So even though I do want Cody Parkey to make the final roster just because at the Eagles-Dolphins game I was at live last year, we lost that game because Sturgis missed 2 makeable field goals, and I'd rather see Parkey. Plus he had a Pro Bowl. He's a Pro Bowler kicker. Man, give him a shot. It's looking like they may be leaning towards Sturgis unless something drastic happens week 4. But overall grade for this performance, a victory, is going to be B. B grade. It's been great. 3-0 in the preseason. Good to have for a young rookie head coach in Doug Peterson. Like I said, you can't put a lot of weight in the preseason. Everyone brings up, oh, well, the fucking 0-16 Lions went 4-0 in the preseason. But this is a different scenario. This is a rookie head coach that everyone, including myself, has said, we're fucked with this guy. We could have easily gone 0-3, be at 0-3 at this point, and we'd be shitting on him even more. You can always be worse than 3-0 in the fucking preseason. So, oh, shit. That's actually, Colts just got a big-ass reception. So the final scoreline may change here. It looks like the Colts are getting ready to score again, but they're not going to beat the Eagles. The Eagles still going to get the victory here. My offensive MVP, I'm giving that to Josh Huff. Like I said, 2 receptions, 60 yards. Also added a rushing touchdown. Defensive MVP, C.J. Smith. Great tackles, sure tackler. 7 tackles from the cornerback spot. That's always, a positive to have after years of, Nnamdi Asomugha, Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie, Kerry Williams, Bradley Fletcher, just corners that could not tackle to save their fucking lives. It's nice to have a corner that can tackle. So my last thing I'm going to end this video off is the production team. So I streamed this game, and it was based on the Colts. It was a Colts-based network. The worst announced game I've ever seen. This guy fucked up every Eagle play. Let's see. We had if you follow me on Twitter, I tweeted out a picture. When they put the starting lineups, they had Benny Logan as Danny Logan. I swear to fucking God. He called every wide receiver, almost every other wide receiver on Philly was the wrong name. He's like, oh, Paul Turner with the catch, not Paul Turner. There was a defensive penalty on Aziz Shitu, and he went on to say that was a penalty by Steven Wisniewski, and then didn't realize he fucked up, and then after that talked about Wisniewski being from Penn State. So he clearly thought Steven Wisniewski got a defensive offside neutral zone infraction. So the worst announced game I have ever seen in my life. I wish I knew what these announcers' Twitters would be, because I would shit talk them and try to get blocked on Twitter. But overall, guys, can't be upset. Another Philadelphia Eagle victory, 3-0. Hopefully next week we can wrap it up with a win against the Jets, 4-0 in the preseason. All kinds of momentum going into the Week 1 matchup against the Cleveland Browns. Let me know what you guys think about this game, and if you enjoyed it, in the comment section below. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Lots of Eagles content coming for the coming weeks. As fucking Carlos Condit just got choked out by Damian Maya in the fucking first round. That was embarrassing. It's your boy C4 saying peace out.